Greetings, sixth grade writers. I hope you are doing well and you had a restful break. Get ready to do some writing. We started this writing a couple of days before we went on break, and obviously we probably need to sort of knock off some rust, just sort of remember what we did in our writing piece. Now, what I want to let you know is first go to Google Docs, go to Google Classroom, and open up these three things. You have your outline, which I will show you what that looks like. It's going to be this guy. This is the outline. The next one that you'll open up is going to be your Google Doc, which is this. And then the last one will be your compare and contrast, your notes. And these are your notes right here. And remember, we are talking about in this essay how Odilia and Odysseus were alike and how they were different. Now, I'm going to do a quick recap to let you know what we were talking about. So remember, over here was the Odyssey. We talked about Odysseus. And over here was Summer of the Mariposas with Odilia. Now, a couple of things that they shared in common where they both had an antidote or poison. They both had a hero or a mentor on their hero's journey. Then they were both leaders. They both believed in folklore and mythology, and some of it seemed like time isn't real. And so we're going to talk about some of those things. So that's how they were similar. Now, this is how they were different. The antidote or the potion was a poison for Odysseus, but you remember, he had somebody help him, which is Hermes. There was a leaf juice for Odilia. That's how they were different. Another thing how they were different was they both had mentors on their hero's journey, Lorna and Hermes. So Odysseus had Hermes, Odilia had Lorna. They were both leaders in their own ways. Odysseus was kind of like a macho leader and he did his thing, whereas Odilia was a motherly leader. They also believed in different types of folklore. Odysseus believed in the Greek folklore and mythology, and Odilia believed in the Aztec one. There are other things that made it seem like they were not real, like there were sirens, which was Xerxes was a siren. She was the one that was trying to poison Odysseus, and she was trying to go after him. So there was something that wasn't kind of like real. And the other one was Cecilia tried to poison Odilia, and she was a sorcerer. Cilia was a sorcerer or a witch. And then remember that Xerxes was a siren, and those are people that kind of call out to sailors on the sea, and they're kind of like mermaids, but they're not real. Also, it seemed that time was not real for them. In Odysseus, it lasted over a year, but a couple of days went by for Odilia, so the time didn't really feel well. And one of the things that made it seem kind of magical between both of them is that Odysseus had a staff and Odilia had a pendant. So those are how things are similar or shared and how they are different. Now, what you want to do is then, some of you might have already started your essay, which is going to be 4 paragraphs. Now, so if you've done that, I'll tell you about what else you need to do, but I'm going to continue to talk about the writing. To help you with the writing, if you're trying to remember what to do, go to the outline. That's this guy right here. And in fact, I'm just going to change the name to outline right here. Now, this outline tells you how you should be writing your 4 paragraphs. You need to do these 3 bullet points in paragraph 1. Here are descriptions on a hook and a thesis. Then you'll space, and then you need to write a topic sentence for how they are alike. So let's take a look at that. 4 things about how they are alike. We're going to come back over to here to our notes, and let's change this to notes. And remember, this is how they are alike, okay? Odysseus had this, and Odilia had poison. Odysseus had a mentor, Odilia had a mentor. Odysseus was a leader, Odilia was a leader. They both had mythology. Now, as you're looking at your outline, when you come over here, you're going to talk about how things are similar. What is the evidence that Odysseus is like Odilia? And you'll put that over here for the second sentence. The third sentence is how is Odilia like Odysseus? So again, you would look in these areas and make sentences related to those. When it comes to the topic sentence, Now, you're going to be doing all of this not in this document. You're going to have to do it a writing piece over here. So all of this stuff will be 4 paragraphs that go in here. Okay? Next up, topic sentence tells the reader the main point that is specific to the paragraph. In this one, you are comparing. I am going to compare Odilia and Odysseus. Here, type that in there, and that is going to be your topic sentence. Your topic sentence over here, 4, is going to be differences. We are going to be contrasting. So your first sentence for paragraph 3 will be like, I am going to tell how Odilia and Odysseus are different, or they are contrasting, okay? Next thing, concluding sentences. Review and summarize the main point. So here, you're going to write, in summary of this paragraph, talk about what you said here in 1 or 2 words, and talk about what you said here in 1 or 2 words. And then do the same thing for paragraph 3. Now, let me go back in and give you some examples. So, the hook, right here. This is my hook. You do your own hook. Could you imagine being poisoned by a witch in your own house? Now, take a look at that. Okay? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on my dictation for a second because I want to do typing quicker. So I'm going to go with this. And here I go. So now let's go back to here and see what I need to talk about what the name of the book is. So I'm going to go back over here and I will do this. In help, I'm going to do voice typing. Now I'm going to start that. And to start it, it goes like that. So I'm going to come over here, and I had to talk about what the book was. So to start my voice typing, I would go here. And I'd go here. Allow while visiting this site. Allow this all the time. Now, I just turned it off. You can see that voice typing started. So as I come over here, this turns it on and off. And so you got to watch over here as it types. So I have to do a sentence about the book. Inside of my 6th grade class, we are currently reading Summer of the Mariposas and Odysseus's The Odyssey. Period. And then I stopped it. Okay? I'm doing this to do this quickly so I can not have a lot of time on the video. I'm going to come back over here to my outline. The thesis statement tells the reader the main argument. Well, the main argument is how we're doing comparing and contrasting. So I'm going to come back over here and do this. My thesis for this paper is that we are going to compare and contrast the 2 characters, Odilia and Odysseus. And then I stopped. Boom, boom. Now, I showed you how to voice dictate. Now I would go back over here and I would do a topic sentence. Tells the reader the main point of the specific paragraph. Come back over here. I'm going to turn back on my voice typing and go like this. In this paragraph, I'm going to compare how Odilia and Odysseus are characters in their book and they do things that are very similar. And I turned it off. That would be my first topic sentence, how they are alike. Then I'm going to go over here, evidence for Odysseus. That will come from right over here, how they are alike. So talk about how Odysseus did poison and Odilia did an antidote. Talk about how they both had a mentor. And after you do 2 sentences, then you're going to do a concluding sentence. Now, I'm telling you that you can type, if you feel more comfortable voice typing, you can. And that way, if it helps you get through your stuff more quickly, you're going to want to come back and forth between your notes your outline to see where you are, and you will be writing in here. Now, put a period there. And then once you are done, you will do this. You will highlight this. And then we have to go to Lesson 9, Activity 6, Card 2, and we're going to take our essay when we're done with our 4 paragraphs and paste it into Amplify and turn in. Hopefully this helps you start. And if you don't finish, I'm going to send this to parents to ask them to help you finish. With that, you can do this. Glad to see you. I'm glad everybody is well and back in the swing of things. Have a great day and good writing.